Presented by Indeed.com.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. Strong winds from nearby Hurricane Dora are fanning the flames of wildfires in Hawaii. They burned buildings to the ground on Maui and forced some people to jump into the harbor to save themselves. Alan Dakar watched businesses disappear in Lahaina.
There were no fire trucks at that point. I think the fire department was already overwhelmed with other fires nearby.
Maui County spokeswoman Mahina Martin.
We have opened multiple emergency shelters throughout the island to assist our residents. At this time, both fire areas are active. Our crews, it's all hands on deck.
Coast Guard reports at least a dozen rescues. Now to Cape Cod, where an EF1 tornado tore a hole in the roof of Marcia DuPont's home in Mattapoisett.
Getting dark, and I said, let me listen outside. To me, there was a different noise out there, and I'm like, ooh, this is not good.
No reports of injuries. Voters in Ohio have rejected a measure that would have made it more difficult to change the state constitution. CBS's Caitlin Huey Burns says it'll have a major impact on abortion rights. The result will keep in place a simple majority threshold needed to pass a constitutional amendment in Ohio, 50% plus one vote. The proposal, backed by Republican Secretary of State Frank LaRose, had aimed to raise it to 60%. In November, Ohio will have a ballot measure to enshrine abortion protections in the state constitution, which, according to a recent poll, nearly 58% of voters there support. 3 white men are now facing misdemeanor assault charges in a massive fight that broke out on the riverfront in Montgomery, Alabama over the weekend. Police Chief Darrell Albert.
There may be more arrests. We're going to look at all the evidence that's continuing to pour in. If that leads to more serious charges than a misdemeanor, then we'll go down that road.
Video shows several men attacking a black boat captain who tried to get their pontoon out of the way of a larger vessel. Officials in Italy say dozens of migrants are presumed dead after a shipwreck in the Mediterranean last week. Reporter Sabina Castelfranco is in Rome.
4 survivors told rescuers they were in a small metal boat that had set off from Sfax in Tunisia, which capsized and sank just hours after it began its journey last Thursday. A large wave apparently flipped the vessel, causing everyone on board to be thrown into the sea. 3 children were among the dead.
Just one winning ticket in last night's $1.5 billion Mega Millions jackpot. It was purchased at a Publix in Neptune Beach, Florida. S&P futures up 5. This is CBS News.
Hire with minimal effort and max speed with Indeed. Their hiring solution platform helps you attract, interview, and hire candidates efficiently. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
It's 6:03 at the Bay Area's news station, KCBS. A gray start, low clouds and fog and drizzle this morning. A cooler pattern continuing through Friday with summer heat returning on the weekend. Good morning, I'm Margie Schaefer.
And I'm Eric Thomas.
And here's what's happening.
Crews remain on the scene of a fire that burned part of an apartment complex and hardware store in San Francisco's Inner Sunset neighborhood. KCBS's Mike DeWall joins us live to report the blaze brought more than 100 firefighters to the area. Mike?
That's right, Eric. Fire investigators remain on scene here at 8th and Irving, as well as construction crews. There's some debris on the street, but this fire actually burned at the back of these buildings. So from the street, a lot of that damage actually isn't visible. The fire broke out last night. San Francisco Fire Captain Jonathan Baxter explains.
The fire came in just after 8 o'clock. It quickly grew to a 3-alarm fire, bringing over 100 San Francisco firefighters to the area of 8th Avenue and Irving. On 8th Avenue in the 1200 block, we have a 3-story multi-residential garden-style complex that was affected by this fire.
Now, that hardware store and the cafe on Irving also is feeling some of the impacts of this fire. You can actually still smell a little bit of burning in the air. Now, of course, this is the second 3-alarm blaze in the course of a week, the other being the construction site in Hayes Valley that also brought more than 100 firefighters. In this case, San Francisco Fire says no one was injured, and at this point, it's unknown whether anyone was displaced. The cause of the fire is under investigation. Reporting live in San Francisco, Mike DeWall, KCBS.
Thank you, Mike. Sunlight is a human right. That's according to inmates at the San Francisco jail who are suing the city demanding more access to sunshine. KCBS's Matt Bickler joins us live with details.
Good morning, Margie. The lawsuit first filed in 2019 claims that denial of sunlight constitutes cruel and unusual punishment under the U.S.